I heard a lot of people talking online about the Demko Shark Cub. So at Blade Show this year, I picked one up. I'm going to take a look at it here. Comes in the Demko plastic case. They had quite a few varieties of it. I chose this green G10. I like the look of it. Although I have since started seeing some of the original goat scales, and I may swap these out. I like how thin it is, but I may swap it out for a little bit fatter, maybe just some aluminum scales or something. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. So they had several different blade configurations. I kind of like this slicer type with the hole. They have it with thumb studs, and I'm not against a thumb stud, but the hole is nice because when you're sharpening and everything, you don't have to worry about catching that thumb stud. It is a little bit shorter, but look at that. It's still easily 4-finger, and that's not even grabbing up here. You could shift up on it as well if you really needed to, but that is nice and comfortable. It's got the shark lock, like I said. I find that the shark lock, it's a little bit harder to flip this closed just because there's less inertia in the blade. If I bring out one of my 80-20.5s, that swings really easy. But what I did find even on the 80-25s that I have, that one and this one, that after a while of using them and flipping them, they did get smoother, and I imagine this is not going to be any different than... I did take and soften the edges with some 800 grit sandpaper and a small block. I taped everything off, and I softened the edges on the shark lock. I had to do that on the 80-25s as well, because where those serrations end, those are very sharp points, and it's not like it's going to cut you, but this is a knife that I really want to fidget with, you know, so always pulling that against those. And honestly, I think I'm going to do it a little bit more even. I don't want to take off all the grip, but I just want that to be more comfortable. It's kind of neat how they dug that out right there so you can get your finger down into it and right in front of that shark lock. I like that. Of course, there's no blade play, there's no nothing. It's solid as a rock when it's locked up. Shark lock is a very robust lock. This one is CPM 20 CV. So I'm expecting some good performance out of it. So now we can compare this knife. Well, let's take some measurements real quick. This one is 6 7/8 open total length with a 2 3/4 inch blade and about a 2.5 inch cutting edge. If I go to one of my 20.5s, this one is 7 5/8 long. Remember, this was 6 7/8. This one is 7 5/8 with a 3 1/8 inch long blade and 3-inch cutting diameter. Then another one that I have to compare and contrast that I will be doing a separate review on. I got an American-made AD20, and I'm pretty excited. This thing's a tank. Like I said, we'll do a review on this later, but it's great. This one, I believe, is 20 CV. And we're looking at 8 5/8 long. with a 3 5/8 long blade and 3 3/8 cutting edge. It's just a little bit tougher to swing. Let's look at blade stock thickness between these two, or three. So right here, we're, for the Shark Cub, pretty much dead on 0.1. For the AD 20.5 S35 version here, I have 0.125. And then for the full-size AD 20, I've got 0.19. Handle thickness, the full-size AD 20, is 5.85. That's a chunky boy. The AD 20.5 is only 4.35. That's a big difference. But then you drop down to the little Shark Cub, 0.36. That is very, very nice and slender. It's going to make a great carry. Like I said before, I might put some original goat aluminum scales on it, and those things are going to thicken this up a little bit. So I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. I really like this. Look at the size difference in the locks. You can see that each one is just pared down a touch. I like the deep carry pocket clip. It has a lot of room under it. I wish the screws were recessed. They're not. That's unfortunate. But with as much room as they give you under there, I've had this in and out of my pocket a few times testing it, and I haven't had any problems. Let's test the factory sharpness. Okay, I got my best tester ready. Demko Shark Cub. Let's see what we get. Nice and slow and controlled. 145, wow. That is right up there with some of the best that I've tested straight out of the box. I think that can be due to the nice thin blade stock. It's not a really high grind, but it's high enough to get nice edge geometry. That's a really good result. I haven't used this. I've carried it a little bit, but I made sure not to use this knife until I was able to make this video so I could test the out-of-the-box sharpness. So you can see centering looks good. They don't leave a lot of room. They make this so slender and easy to carry that even that blade, it fits down in there. It doesn't rub at all, but it fits in there nice and compact. There's not any wasted space. They have the Shark Cubs also in a polymer handle that's more contoured. And I looked at those, and they're AUS 10, I believe, and they're a lot less expensive than this 20 CV version. But I just, I wanted the 20 CV. Like I said, I like this green G10. I like how slender it is, but I'm really thinking about putting some original goat scales on it. Really make it look unique. All in all, so far, without having really put this to use, I love this little guy. I like all of these Demkos that I have. This is just the next one in line, you know. The smallest one I have. They make a a version smaller than this, which I might get too to complete this. But the Shark Lock is an extremely useful blade style, or blade lock, and I think that this is, for me, probably my favorite blade style that the Cub was offered in. So there you go, nice and thin, comfortable in the hand, great lock. This one's 20 CV steel, and comes super sharp from the factory. I'd call that a winner. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.